And good morning. It is you get to be like the cop on TV and not get in trouble. Pew pew. Anyway, sorry, that was an off-air conversation. Good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Public Library, we have Tracy, Frie, and Peggy Bohlin back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
In unison, look at this, y'all. Yes. It's Friday. Everyone's happy. No one's no. It's hard to be in a bad mood on a Friday.
I know.
Isn't it?
Unless you work on the weekends.
Yeah, unless Friday's not your Friday. That's true.
But that's okay.
And I'm guessing your Saturdays are busier because people are off work, so there's probably more people coming to the library and utilizing the library when they're off. So
with the new Play and Learn Center, they are.
Yes, this is.
And it's so cool.
This is cool. This is. I was kind of mentioning this in the 7 o'clock hour this morning, but was it earlier this week it unveiled, or was it last week? I can't remember.
The person finished installing it on Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. So, I got it on Monday, the press release. But, the library has just opened, just a couple days ago, opened this big interactive play and learn area for kids there at the library. It's kind of enhancing the children's area quite a bit, actually.
Very much.
It's going from, like old Chevette Pinto to like Corvette now. Let's get little, Just kidding, but it is pretty cool. So let's tell folks what's kind of some of the stuff the kids can do in the play area.
Okay, it's actually for our little kids, so the big kids can come in and they can play, but just be aware.
But geared towards kids that aren't of reading level yet, maybe, or
they can be at reading level. This is like lower elementary,
so like second or third on down or something.
Right.
Okay, perfect.
But everyone's invited to come and check it out. When you first walk into the children's area, there is a boat, and it has little interactive things on it, so the kids can spin things and
motor skills type stuff, things like that. Okay.
And then also there is in each thing there's something hidden that's like from Roswell. So Enid,
like a little nugget, a little piece of information, a tidbit.
Correct.
Okay.
So our director Enid, she sent in a lot of stuff like I think it was like a little pin that says Roswell, New Mexico, that's in our car.
Oh,
which you can see on the picture. You have a picture of the car, but the green car on the next page.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So it has like junk, it has a junk in the trunk area, and it has like but it has like little things that have a little Roswell meaning, and so the kids can sit in the car. And actually, I saw a parent yesterday. They were sitting. It's like a bench seat.
Yeah,
in
there's
the
like
back.
a little bench there. I can kind of see right here.
And the kid was driving, and the parent was like swaying side to side, like he was going crazy, driving crazy. So it was kind of fun.
Adding to the experience, like slow down.
That's right.
That's fun. That's great.
Then in the Malone room, which is in the children's area, is that whole wall, which is like a skyline of Roswell.
Okay.
And so it has a Chavez courthouse. It has the what else is on that? It has a truck.
Okay.
It has
some of the downtown buildings, like in the skyline there, kind of thing.
Even has the light poles we have downtown.
The alien headlight poles. Cool.
Of course. And then we have magnets on there so the kids can play with the magnets and gears. So it's pretty cool.
And there's a little space section.
Oh, there's a rocket area.
We gotta have some of that.
Pictured in it.
So it's all like just little bits of Roswell history kind of put together in this fun way where kids get to spin the wheels and play and pretend they're driving cars and doing these cool things. And then they're kind of seeing, and it's like, hey, Mom, Dad, what's that thing? And then they tell them, and then they learn about Roswell and learn about this. And it sounds really cool. And I think and like you said, it's actually, this is for kids, but it's a great way for parents and kids to interact as well and engage and do things. Like you said, Mom and Dad are, they're along for the ride in the car while the kid's driving in there.
Exactly.
That's pretty fun. So. So good deal. So come, if you haven't seen it yet, come out to the library during library hours when it's open, and come check it out. Mm-hmm. Come bring your kids. Now, like you said, anybody can come check it out, but let's leave it to the little kids for them to play.
Right, and we don't want kids climbing on it or anything like that.
I know.
We want it to.
But I get it. Some people want to touch and do everything too, and
they're more than welcome to touch.
I'm one of those people like, what's this thing do? I'm just as bad.
Yeah.
I'm a 7-year-old in a 48-year-old, 49-year-old body. So
I was waiting for you to say in a 25-year-old body.
Very good, but excellent. So that's full ready to go now, and come and enjoy it here. Mm-hmm. But that's the tip of the iceberg. You guys have always, and especially now that we're getting closer to summer reading program, it's getting busy, and we'll get a lot busier here at the library over the next couple months too.
Yes,
yes, definitely.
Good deal. So, do you want to start with some of the weekly activities, or we got some special events we want to highlight first? Or?
I want to highlight a special event which is happening next Saturday.
Okay.
It's called Children's Day.
Okay.
And we're going to have a little celebration, Children's Day books. We're basing our celebration on a book called Book Fiesta.
Okay.
So we invite the parents and the children to come in from 11 to 1. Will be games. There'll be a reading of the book called Book Fiesta.
Okay.
There'll be cupcake decorating. There'll be crafts. And then in the afternoon, afterwards we'll have a movie. We'll be watching because of Winn-Dixie.
Okay.
Winn-Dixie movie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember that movie. Yeah. So it's literally a fiesta.
Exactly.
So come out, read the book. Let's get the kids reading, and like I said, they'll be reading it for so if kids younger and things and can't read, then it's like story time.
Right.
And
Diana's in charge of it, and she's gonna do a story time with it.
Very good.
And we might even have some characters dressed up as Encanto characters.
Oh, some of the casts, some of the characters from the book here and everything too. Which the Encanto movie is very popular on Disney right now. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine, that's going to be a big hit for the kids to see those characters come to life. I've even seen that movie, and that's weird. I don't have kids, so
you're a 7-year-old.
It's true. But over Christmas, when that movie came out on Disney Plus, I was visiting my family, my brothers, and so he's got 2 younger sons, and so we all sat and watched Encanto together one night.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. For all the singing and stuff, it's not my cup of tea, but I get other people. I'm weird. I know that. I don't need singing, but I know little people love it. So you love singing, you love it.
There you go.
Like me, not so much.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather just fast forward through the singing.
I read through my stories. Oh, I get it.
Fast forward.
Yeah, those with kids, they get
or mute the singing.
Yeah, and weirdly enough, they were the ones that introduced me to Hamilton on Disney too. Those 2 kids loved Hamilton, which I thought was surprising, because they're they're like the elementary school age. They would in essence be right in the wheelhouse of the group that's playing with the new. So to me, for them to have the attention span and the enjoyment of it, I think they love. Now, in all fairness, my brother and my sister-in-law, they do a lot with the kids and work with them, but they both went to the SUNY Maritime Academy in in New York City. And basically where they go, it's there's a place there called Fort Schuyler and all that, and actually the lineage of that is the Schuyler family in Hamilton, if you've seen Hamilton. Hamilton's wife and all that, they're the Schuyler family. So that's the relationship, and so my youngest nephew of the 2, his middle name is Schuyler for that. They went to school. So they have that connection to Hamilton, and I think my brother kind of put that into them. And so, but now they watch it and then you know how kids, they watch things not once but 5,000 times. And so we're watching, they're like, oh, here's my favorite part, here's this part, and I'm like, how do you know this? Like, you're like 6. But so anyway, I got sidetracked, but I thought I would share with Encanto got me onto that. So but definitely. So what's the date of the book fiesta again? That's next Saturday?
Yes, April 30th. It's from 11 to 1.
Perfect.
It's the games and the cake decorating and the story time, and then at 1 o'clock they're going to start the movie.
Okay. And do they need to pre-register or just show up?
No, just show up. It's a come and go event. So
very good.
You have some place to go at 12, just come at 11 and
gotcha. Whenever you're available, come and spend a few, but maybe allow yourself enough time to hear the story, participate in all the activities and things.
And decorate a cupcake. You can eat one.
Yeah. Yeah. and unless you got the discipline to decorate the cupcake and take it home first.
That would be,
That takes a lot of discipline to do that.
It does.
It's possible.
It does. It is possible, I guess. They should bring a little container there for it.
Tip is eat first. Then you have a better chance of making it. If you didn't eat first, you're done.
That's right.
You might as well just start eating the cupcake while you're making it.
Eating the frosting.
That's a good move. It's like, oh, wait, I'm out of frosting. I need to redecorate.
May I have another cup?
That's right. It's a good move. What's next that we want to highlight here?
So, excuse me. We're still having our story times on Tuesdays, Mother Goose on the Loose at 10:30. And Mother Goose on the Loose in Spanish at 5 p.m. on Tuesdays.
Nice. Okay.
And our music and movement story time at 10:30 on Wednesdays. We still have Crochet Club on Fridays at 3 p.m. And after the book fiesta, we're just kind of going to gear up for summer reading.
Summer reading after that.
June 6th, which will be a big
It's right around
kickoff.
the corner.
Right.
So I imagine next time you guys are in, we'll probably talk more about what's on tap for summer reading.
Yes.
What the prizes, what the books, what's all the requirements for this year's summer reading program.
And the entertainers that are coming, because we have entertainers coming, so that's
Very
cool
good.
this year.
Yeah,
And
that's really
I'm
neat.
assuming the adults can participate again
Yes,
in the
it's
summer
adult
reading.
summer reading.
So adults, this is not just for the kids. They have an adult version of the summer reading program. So
Right.
I know you may not be into some of the kids, different shows and things that are part of summer.
Right.
But yeah, it's the same, works the same. And to be honest, if you do it with your family and your kids, and you've got children that aren't of age to read on their own yet, you reading them books counts for them and you in the
Definitely.
summer reading program.
Right.
I'm assuming none of that changes.
Nothing.
But we'll talk more about that next month. Here.
Right.
But when we talk about it, I'm telling you, for all you folks out there looking to get involved and do things through this summer reading program's a great one, because it helps. Obviously, your kids can encourage them to read and keep reading, but they win prizes for reading.
Right.
They get all kinds of cool stuff. They get incentives to do it.
Right.
And the cool part is, as long as it's a library book, it's the world's their oyster. There's no
Right.
They don't have to read books that are required of them per se. If they want to read one that interests them because it's about kittens or about space, whatever it is, they can read about it.
Right.
That's and it all counts. So, but like I said, we'll talk more about that here probably next month here. So.
Right. And we still have our Raise a Super Reader and Be a Super Reader program going on, where the children read, the younger children up to age 5 read. If they can read 1,000 books before they hit kindergarten, they get a cape.
Nice.
And we still have the Be a Super Reader, which is the elementary school up to grade 6. If they read 500 books, because they're going to be reading a lot of it on their own at a certain point, they get a medal.
That's cool. So if you're just hearing about that, want to get in the programs, please reach out to the library.
It's free.
And it's all free of charge, and it's all fun ways to get your children to get more involved in reading. And it's kind of like it's almost like putting the cheese on the pill when you're giving it to the dog kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is where disguising it as a fun and cool thing they get, and they accidentally learn, broaden their vocabularies and learn to read more proficiently, and hopefully adopt a love for reading books on their own.
Right.
So, there was something I was going to ask you, and it just slipped right out of my head. Oh, I know what it was. And this is not really a question, more of a advice too. You mentioned story time there. That's the weekly event. Like you do the Mother Goose in English in the mornings, and then the Spanish version in the afternoons at 5 o'clock.
Right.
I would say take your kid to both if you can.
Yes.
Definitely.
I think it's a great opportunity because, and we've talked about this, kids are sponges. They absorb things.
Right.
That's why you see a lot of, in other places, not so much the United States, but other parts of the world, where they teach foreign language to these kids in 1st, 2nd grade, those early development, not when they hit high school.
Right.
By that time, it's it's a lot harder to, and so
Right.
for them to absorb it. So maybe this is a chance to get, if your kid's proficient, English is their primary language or Spanish, doesn't matter. Go to both. Go to the give those kids that aren't exposed to Spanish an opportunity to learn and surround themselves with it and pick up. I mean, obviously, we're not going to have them speaking Spanish after this is over, but they'll pick up words, they'll pick up things, and you do that enough. They're immersed and they know it. And same thing with English. You want to teach these kids English and their Spanish, their prime. Have them go story time. Have them watch TV. Have them do all the things in English. And they're going to, I don't know how many friends like myself, my brother, like that college my brother went to, his roommate was Russian, from Russia.
Oh, nice.
And of course, he had been living in the United States most of his youth in New York City there, but he learned English watching TV.
Yeah.
Like it was constantly watching TV. And I'm not going to lie, if you talk to him, if you talk a short conversation, you probably never know he's Russian. It's just when you had a lengthy conversation and some of the accent slips out in certain words, and you're like, okay, he's Russian. But if you just had a short, quick couple sentences, you probably wouldn't even know he's Russian.
Yeah.
He was that proficient in it. So.
Yeah.
But my point was, expose your kids to as much foreign language as possible. The early you can, you're gonna do them a service down the road by doing that.
And the bilingual one on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. It is a lot of English-speaking kids that are coming because they want their.
Good.
So it is bilingual. She'll do the story in English and
So they
in
kind of
Spanish.
understand what's going on.
Right.
Gotcha.
So
if they're learning Spanish or learning, or vice versa,
Right.
English trying to translate it into they can kind of understand the story.
Exactly.
Regardless if they understand Spanish or English. So
Exactly.
very cool. Which is how we learn.
Exactly.
What else do we want to mention?
Do you want to mention anything about your camp invention or?
Well,
Yeah.
Camp Invention is June 6th through the 10th.
Yes.
And that's a huge thing coming up.
Do we have any deadlines coming up as far as discounts? I know there was one, but I think it ends in May, doesn't it?
I think it's May 15th.
May 15th for
$15 off.
discount.
Explore 15 is the code.
If you go to invent.org, that is the camp invention, which is the Inventors Hall of Fame. They're the ones who put this camp together. It's a national camp.
Yeah, we're partnered with them.
Yeah, it's a national camp. There's camps just like this one throughout the country, and it's a week of day camp STEM fun where the kids get 4 different projects that they'll work on through the course of the week, and this is for pretty much all elementary age kids. There is a LIT, which is kind of like your counselor and training program,
And that's for middle school
middle
kids.
school age kids, and that's a discounted price. But you get to learn and play, but you also get to be some leaders and kind of help manage the group and help the counselors, plan events and work on the events and things as the camp's going on there too.
Right.
So,
It's so much fun.
yeah. But invent.org, and then you're going to see a thing, find a camp near you. There's a link or a button. I don't remember exactly, but you'll see it's pretty right there in front.
Right.
Type in Roswell, New Mexico, and you'll see all the information for Camp Invention, times, costs, everything else. And if you put in the code, which I don't have handy,
Explore 15.
Explore 15, you're gonna save $15 off that price. Now,
Yeah, I have the scholarship money too.
and that's the other one thing I want to mention real quick. If you need a partial scholarship to help pay the $15, because it's like $255
$255.
for the entire camp, and you're like, I can't. It's I can't afford that.
Yeah.
I get you. It's hard times.
Yeah.
I get it. And then, by the way, you're paying $20 for a hamburger everywhere you go. So I get you.
There's no dollar hamburger anymore. You notice?
I hear you. So, but if you need a partial scholarship, then call Peggy Bohlin direct, and we'll make sure she gives her number here. But and talk to her direct, because those scholarships are not through the website.
Right,
That's
they're-
handled here locally.
Yep.
So
With me.
we ask that. But if you don't need any financial aid, by all means, sign up through the website. Use the $15 code or not. That's up to you.
Right.
And sign up that way. Also, the camp runs from 9 to 3.
3:30.
9 to 3:30,
3:30.
Monday through Friday. However, if they do offer an extended camp for a few dollars more, and so it's like more camp, and it goes from 7, right?
7:30.
7:30 to
5:30.
5:30. So so if that actually works better for your schedule because of your work schedule and things, I encourage you to do that.
Costs
So
a little extra, but
it does cost a little extra, but and I'm going to say this, that the extra 4 hours there, 3 hours that they're going to be there, they're
Each
not
day.
just is they're doing more class, more camp, more fun, more stuff. It's kind of an extra level of that for some of these kids, because they're not just sitting there waiting for you to pick them up at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day waiting for camp to start. They're starting their stuff already.
engaged.
So yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, my
so-
phone number is 575-420-9955.
Very good. And of course, I think we got you on next week talking camp
Yep,
convention.
I
too,
think
if
so.
I remember right off top. I think next Friday. Now that I think about it. but yes, it's a great, and as I've said the times we've talked camp convention with Peggy here. In the world we live in today, now we're coming out of COVID and things like that, but we've got really a couple years of some kids that are really behind the eight
Yes.
ball on getting caught up on their science, math, STEM-related stuff, or education in general.
Exactly.
Therefore, to make up for that, things like Camp Invention are more than just a fun week for kids. I think they're almost necessary for some of these younger kids. Now, it is a fun week for kids and all that, but
but they
I
learn
almost
so much.
instead of it being an extra, I almost think it should be a requirement now for some of these kids, just because the world we're in. They get a chance to because it's only going to get harder for them from here in education. The higher grades they get, the more complex, the more things they do.
Yes.
So if they're lost now, imagine how that's going to snowball as they get to more advanced things. And that's what we're trying to avoid here. So
and that's why the library, the library is so important too.
Absolutely.
Lovely voice right now.
It's allergy season. We all got. I've been heavy on my Nasacort this week. So,
so between with the library, with all their books and all their resources,
same thing.
I mean, it's so useful.
Parents, if you
and
need
STEM
those,
at home kits.
That's another thing. If you need resources and options, reach out to the library. Peggy's put together a plethora of these STEM at home kits, and you can kind of use them. Check them out every couple days. And
during the summer, it would be ideal.
And that way you can keep your kids at practice doing this stuff, and maybe even expanding and learning upon that.
Right.
But these are all great options, and of course, just encouraging signing up for the summer reading program, signing up for these extracurricular events where they're reading and doing, where all of this stuff is stuff that's going to benefit your kid, especially when they've been lacking getting a lot of this stuff for the last couple of years in school, and this is so important. So please, the library, Camp Invention, these things are your absolute friend, and they could be the difference for making your child's success that much easier. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it on your own, but it's hard. It's hard when you're trying to do it. And if you don't even know what direction to go in, it's hard. It's really hard. So utilize these resources. That's why they're here. That's why they're available. Shoot, if money's an issue, 99% everything at the library is free of charge.
Yes, everything is free.
Yeah.
And then they can come in and ask us what they need, and we can at least steer them in the direction to get it. And if we don't have it, we can tell them where they can possibly find it.
Yep.
And Camp Invention, like I said, if you're bulking at $255, that's why Peggy has the part. We've said it. We do not want money to be the reason why these kids aren't going. We'll figure it out. She's not going to offer full scholarships because we want invested stake on the family side as well. And studies show, if you contribute a little, then you got investment in it and all that. So we can't make it free for you, but we can definitely help you out enough to where it is affordable for your new family if you do. And to help keep that going, let me throw this other plug. If there's anybody out there listening that'd like to donate to Camp Invention, every time you donate, that's what this money's used for, those scholarships. We had some awesome donors that have really helped out not only this year but in years past. But that does dry up at some point, and so we want more people donating and things like that. So if you're listening and saying, that's a great idea, I'd like to give $100 or a couple $100 to Camp Invention to help with scholarships, we'd love to have that. And I guarantee you, every single penny you donate will go back to help one of these kids go to camp. If it's not this summer, next summer.
Yeah, families with 3 kids call.
Yeah.
The parents call with 3 kids in elementary, and they're
dropping close to $1,000 to go to camp for 3 kids. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I can help all 3.
Yeah.
Let's get those kids to camp. So, the amount of kids doesnment matter to me.
Yeah.
Getting the kids there is what counts.
It's the work that's going to be done that week at camp.
Yes,
and trust
exactly.
me. And we'll talk next week about it, but they do these fun projects. They do a lot. Go to invent.org. You don't have to wait for us to talk about it next week. Go to invent.org. You can read it online, see the different projects. You can see everything. You see the history of Camp Invention. So if you want to do your research and homework all about Camp Invention, go to invent.org. You'll have a weekend of fun reading all that stuff.
Exactly.
Any other library stuff we want to make sure we get out there before?
Well, you have a STEM class on May
5th,
4th. Which are on
it's on a Wednesday.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Is it a Star Wars themed STEM class on May the 4th?
Oh, May the 4th be with you.
But
May the 4th be with you.
But what we're doing is we're going to be looking at NASA mission patches.
So space.
And it's space.
So it's kind of Star Wars.
And then they'll be creating
without the
their
trademark
own.
infringements.
There you go.
But they'll be creating their own, and I'll make a button for that. One of those pin buttons.
Oh, cool.
So what they make will be made into a button, and then they can take it with them.
Nice. And that's those classes are great. You have so many because it really. I'm telling you, STEM class is kind of like the adventure. Like we talk about reading books and going on an adventure. STEM's the same way. I mean, all the cool things we're pushing envelopes, going farther into space than we farther before, learning things about. That's all STEM, man. That's all pushing the envelope. That's all. When we, it's to me, we're kind of almost in a new renaissance of space. Like the 60s got big with the moon race and all of that, and then it kind of faltered in the 70s and Space Shuttle, but it was nowhere the level of the 60s. But I think with Mars and with these private companies now jumping on board. I think we're entering a new era of space, and so these classes, these STEM things, are preparing these kids because when we're old and dusty and crusty and sitting on porches, these kids are probably going, yeah, we got the moon base trip this weekend. You know what I mean? And so
let's go.
Yeah. So so I think sign them up for these classes and let's have some fun with all this. And they probably learn you a thing or two. Your kids.
Well, they don't have to sign up. They just show up.
Just come on out and be a part of it.
Yeah.
So.
And that's at 4:30 on May 4th, and that'll be our last STEM
Sure
class.
it's the 4th. I thought it was the 5th. Let's see. 30.
Let's see. We got the calendar right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
You're
4th?
Right.
Okay.
I shouldn't have doubted you. So
I
sorry.
did the flyer.
In the
Tracy's like,
4th.
never doubt Tracy. I know all.
No, I just pretend to know it all.
I tell people I know it all. I just can't remember it all at once.
There you
There you
go.
go.
There you go.
Of course, if you have any questions about anything we're talking about here, don't hesitate to reach out. Call the library direct. What's the library's main number there?
575-622-7101.
Very good. Also, if you follow the Roswell Public Library on the two big social medias are Facebook and Instagram, you can follow, and I encourage you to do that because you get to see, like when they do Lego nights, they'll put some of the projects up of the kids or the families that do. So different, whenever there's a new program or new event coming up, that's one of the first places you'll learn about it there. So get that. You can always go to the Roswell Public Library's website, which is through the City of Roswell's website. If you go to roswell-nm.gov, there is a tab there for the library. There is a direct link, but you'll never remember it, so just click on that. A lot of dashes and dots.
Or just Google Roswell Public Library. That's my go-to.
New Mexico.
Unless you want to
New
learn about the
Mexico,
Georgia Library, which I'm sure it's a fine library too. I've never been there. And then finally, a great way to stay up to date is at the beginning of each month, come on by and pick up the monthly calendar from the front desk, and then put it up on your refrigerator there, and that way you can kind of plan ahead and say, all right, we got these events these days. Let's make sure that we're free those days so we can go to those events and things. So all those are available to you free of charge, and of course, all of the stuff we talk about is free of charge, and you can and if you do not have a library card, get one. It's free. It's free. And as long as you turn your books on time, it'll never be a dime. It's kinda, but the world literally is your oyster. And I love when families do when a child reaches a certain age and they deem that now it's appropriate age to get a library card. I love making a big deal out of that, letting the kid come and kind of maybe for a younger kid you buy them their first wallet. You know what I mean? And say, you got a card you got to put in there now. Let's get you first one. You put $1. That's the rule. That's always the rule. If you give somebody a wallet and you don't put cash in it, you're doing it wrong. That's kind of what you're supposed to put. Even if it's $1, you got to put. It's a good luck thing. You're setting them up for failure if you don't put $1 in there, or stop giving people wallets. That would be the other. But I love when families do that kind of stuff to it. Give them that like they're stepping a threshold into being a more mature person. And I love and when you do that, I think the kid cherishes that product so much better and will use it that much. But now they got an excuse and they want to go to the library just to use the card as much as they check out books. And then they accidentally find books they like, and here it goes. So, yeah. So come on, do it. So
Yes.
Is there anything we missed?
I don't think so. Our library park is coming along. Remember we were talking about that. They put the cement down and the library park is on Richardson behind the library. And so we're slowly getting it to the point.
So it's a little bit tricky to get around there, but patience and
we'll probably be doing programs out there that we need to do out there. Like if we do snow cones, that'll be a great place versus that stuff splattering all over.
You don't want that red and blue stuff all over the floors and
the walls. My library director would kill me if she saw it on the wall. So.
It's for the kids. Oh, very good. But yes, more that will be bigger, better, and look for it here especially when this thing's heating up in the summer.
Yeah, Enid, our director, is trying to do a lot of innovative things. Like she's ordered a story walk that's gonna. We're supposed to be getting it probably in the beginning of May, and so it's like a lot of little things just to invite people in to come check out the library.
Make the library a friendly place to come and visit. It's It's no different than when you're driving in a place you're not familiar with and you start seeing cool looking buildings and things.
Right.
You went, oh, let's check that out.
What's
no
that?
difference? Yeah, the library's like,
Right.
oh man, look at the tree, look at the park. Yeah, let's
Right.
go there. That looks like a lot of fun stuff
Right.
happening. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's useful marketing, I guess you say. Physical,
Yes.
in some way, shape, or form. It's a product you physically use, but at the same time, it kind of draws the eye and draws a lot of people. Curb appeal a little bit there.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate
Sure,
it.
you're
welcome.
Have a great weekend, and
You too.
we'll see you next time. And
Yes.
don't work too hard. I know that's easier
We'll try
said than
not
done.
to.
Of course not.
But I know librarians. You guys, like every librarian I've met, like they're task oriented people. So
Yeah.
like when they get set in their mind that this is the project, there's it's hard to get them off that distraction. It's hard to distract them from that.
I'm planning all the way till December right now,
See?
so there you go.
I know how libraries think a little bit
Yeah.
here, so I know you're gonna. And what ends up happening is something that probably could have been done, but because you're you're like no, and then you're overthinking and I know all about that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
All right,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
All right. It is 9:54. Let's.